So it actually not particularly ideal, the location that I have now. It's just an empty sort of, well, a field, and it's a spot, because the problem is I don't want to get our driveway dirty. So I'm gonna give it a try. I mean, I've got some pretty good ground clearance here, which allows me to sort of at least have some space. So I'm gonna give that a go and see how it goes. Pretty sure it should go well. So let's do an oil change today on a Mitsubishi Outlander 2014. Right, so firstly you got to take off those some plastic clips that are holding on the plate. Yeah, really dislike these plastic clips because they almost always break. And there's two 10mm bolts here. Pop those off.
Okay, two 10mm bolts here. Take those off, put them somewhere safe, and then this really simply sort of slides off. Gives you good access to everything, so you ideally want to get the entire plate completely off, if you can. And the thing about not having much space is you've got to do some gymnastics, which is always really difficult. I really dislike plastic clips.
Once you've got those clips off, the end of the tray should fall down like this. I've got some cable ties holding on there because I lost some clips. You can probably see I've got quite a fair bit of oil underneath here. Nothing too serious. Nothing really too serious. So next step is there's a bolt here on the oil sump. Undo that. I think it's about a 13mm, so you undo that bolt, which will then drain the oil. I just gotta get my drain thing. So you're gonna want to slowly undo that bolt. Make sure you got your tray in place.
I hope you can see that. Slowly loosen the bolt. So this part you do have to be fairly quick. Undo the bolt and quickly pull away. Not too bad, so 1, 2, 3.
So that's quite watery actually, that oil. Now we just sort of, we're just gonna let that drain now. Let that drain out. Got the plug there, which I'm gonna clean up nicely when I can. I'll just put it there for now to be safe. Now the next tricky thing is to try and get the oil filter off, which is just up there. Luckily it's in a fairly easy to reach location, so we can try. I did this oil change last and I don't think I tightened this very much, so let's see if I did a good job. It's fairly tight, not ridiculously tight, but I'm gonna have to use these. I think it's more of a grip issue than anything else. There we go. So that has come loose. So I've got the oil filter loose now. So I'm gonna just pop that off as quick as I can. To sort of just avoid getting oil everywhere if I possibly can. Lift that up a bit. It's not really avoidable, but we do the best we can. And I'll splash that a bit on me. Very warm oil. So now we've got the oil sort of dripping away, oil filters off. Next step. Now you should really have ideally you should have a replacement copper washer, but unfortunately I didn't get enough, and I do have some old copper washers but none that are the right size. So, and I don't necessarily recommend people do this, but what I'm going to do is flip the copper washer around. It's not ideal, but that's all I've got at the moment. So that's the drain plug bolt. That copper washer is fine. I mean, it was brand new and it looks in great condition. So all that does is when you tighten it, that copper washer crushes and sort of creates a tighter seal. But like I said, it's in good condition, and I'm pretty sure that will do for now. On the next oil change, it will probably need a new one though. So we're gonna use a new one on the next. So it is dripping away, but it's basically empty. So we're gonna pop the drain plug. Pop the drain plug back in. Make sure you tighten the drain plug. You do not want that not to be tight. Okay, so yeah, make it nice and tight. As tight as possible, but obviously not crazy tight. That was a bit too tight, but it's fine. So you do it as tight as you possibly can. Actually, no, don't do it as tight as you can. Just snug it up, really. That was way too tight. And then with the new oil filter, you should use the new oil, but let me use some old oil. It's just so you don't damage the seal when you tighten it. So yeah, just a small layer of oil will do. clean up if you can. I'm just going to move this oil out the way. So, our next step is to mount the new oil filter. We're going to mount that. So, next step is to refill some oil. Put in some new oil. I think this takes about 50 litres. That's 50 litres, 5 litres. So we'll do about 5, or until it's full really. Yeah, this is not going really well. Missing oil, which is not good. Litres of this is the oil I'm using. Put in about 4 litres, and I'll top it up if needed. I'll just want to check if there's any leaks. That's the important thing to do, is check if there's anything dripping, which there is not. So we're going to pop this little cover back on and then check the levels, and then we should be done. Okay, so that's 5 litres in. I'm going to start it up